world champion speaker Ed Tate has a simple way you can use to make sure that you give powerful, impactful speeches. Move your audience, get your audience excited, get them interested in what you have to say, pull them in, get them really involved in your message. It's what Ed calls the 4 H's. And once you understand what these 4 H's are and how to use them in your speech, you'll notice a transformation in your speaking. Your speeches will go from, okay, all right, I get what you're saying, to, wow, that's amazing. That's something I really didn't know about, didn't think about, and now I understand. And to make this transformation, what happens is there are 4 things to really keep in mind. And many speakers don't have all 4 H's. They don't have all 4 H's, they're not aware of them, they're not really focused on them. Because of that, their speeches fall short. Because of that, their speeches just don't really go where they could. Once you understand what the 4 H's are, then you start to pull in your audience, and you start to get people involved, people really thinking about what it is you're saying, how you're saying it. It just becomes more impactful. And that's something that I've noticed, that in working on applying the 4 H's, speeches which started out being okay, interesting, not the best, but okay, transform into something much better, much more powerful, much more amazing, much more interesting. And today you're going to learn about those 4 H's. You're going to find out about understanding the 4 H's can make you just look better on stage. You know how some speakers just seem to command the stage, just take care of it, take control of it, and get things done? You can be one of those speakers. Speakers that just look good on stage, command the stage, and really in full presence there. Once you start using the 4 H's, you're going to notice that transformation. You're going to find out that you quickly can get the audience involved and get them interested in what you're talking about. You don't have to waste a lot of time, you don't have to waste a lot of bother, because you know what things to focus on. And in knowing what things to focus on, quickly focusing on them, bang, like that. Your audience says, okay, I'm here, ready to go, what have you got for me? I'm really interested. You'll get a process you can work through, making sure that you have all those 4 H's, a checklist. So, okay, the first H, all right, got that H. Second H, good. Third H, fourth H, okay, got all those, ready to go. So before your speech even gets out there, with a process to work through, you'll find yourself much more effective as a speaker, much more powerful and impactful as a speaker. You have a process to work through things. When all those things start working, you're going to start to enjoy your time on stage more. Stage can be nerve-wracking, scary. Getting out there on stage can be scary and nasty, but it doesn't have to be. Once you know, you've got good stuff. And going through the 4 H's, working through the 4 H's will ensure when you go out there, you've got the good stuff. You've got what the audiences want. It all begins with that first H. And the first H is something that once you have it, once you understand it, you know how it works, then your speeches start in a place that the audience figures, okay, I know where you're coming from. I understand it, I get it. And they're with you right from the very beginning. They know they're going to get something because that first H lets them know, okay, all right, I see something there. And in starting at the first H, and knowing there's something there, then the audience is going to go along with the ride and say, well, let's see what happens next. We'll see where this is going. And we've had speakers like that, where you hear them and you think, okay, there's something there. I want to see where that goes. And the first H is head. Head. You give the audience something to think about, something that shows that you're thinking. If you're using your head, but you're aware of what's going on. That helps a lot. Sometimes it's called an intelligent speech, a thinking person's speech. Something that the audience thinks, okay, there's some thought put into it. There's an idea here. There's a definite idea. So going beyond just the kind of general blah, 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 there's definitely an idea here, and I can use that. That's what happens when you appeal to the head. And some people, that's all they want. That's all they want. They're data-driven. They're thinking, okay, now I've got the facts. Just the facts. Like that old show Dragnet, the Sergeant Joe Friday says, just the facts, man. Just the facts. Some people were kind of all head. That's what they're about. That head. And if you get in touch with them and get that head of theirs going, boy, no problem at all. No problem, no worries, no concerns, because they're intellectually involved, they're intellectually challenged, they're thinking, okay, there's something here, I can go with that, I can work with that. So putting together your speeches, make sure there's something for the head, something you've thought about, or you know somebody who's thought about, or you've read somebody who's thought about this. So you get kind of a background on where it is and what it's about and how's it going. So it gets that head involved. Get your audience thinking right from the bat, right from the very beginning. Get the audience's head involved, get them thinking. Now, that's not the only thing. There are, of course, 3 other H's. And if you have just the head alone, that's not going to quite be enough. But it will get you started. If you just start with that head idea, then right from the very beginning, intellectuals are thinking, oh, there's something here. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to think about this, look at it. Now, there are a few other things you have to do, too. Those 3 other H's, get to that in a little bit. Just in the beginning, putting the thing together, you got your checklist. The first thing is head. So just check that off. Start thinking, well, is there something here that's intellectually challenging? There's something here that's going to really appeal to people who are thinkers out there? Give something to the thinkers. Let the thinkers think. Give something to think about. Get in touch with that head. So, first H, go out there, is the head. Then comes the second H. While some people are appealed to by the head, you go from the head, other people need to have the second H. You really need to have that second H. If you don't have that, then there's a problem. They feel that there's really nothing there. Okay, it's intellectual, great, but there's something missing. Don't know what it is, but there's definitely something missing. Once you have that second H, then you have a powerful tool. A very powerful tool to use. And if you can get that second H going and get it really working well for you, I mean, that's really powerful stuff. And it'll transform your speaking, it'll really get people interested and get them involved. The second H is heart. Heart. Show them you got a little heart. Have you seen those movies where they have that heartfelt story about the dog coming back to his master? Or maybe the story about old movie about the guy who builds the baseball stadium and everybody, all the greats come and show up. If you build it, they will come. He builds this baseball stadium in the middle of nowhere, and then all of a sudden these people start coming there. As you're watching these types of movies, with the boy coming home or the guy realizing his dream, you feel stirrings here. It touches your heart. Things touch your heart, they really open you up. And that's powerful to speech. So if you've got to speak with a lot of heart, you'll think, oh, that was really challenging time you went through there. It's amazing you got through. Wow, that's incredible. And then you really touch people. That's why there are professional speakers who do nothing but talk about these heartfelt situations, the incredible challenges they overcame to get where they are today, and all the struggles, all the heartaches, all the problems they put up with. Those people who attempted to climb a mountain, finally got up to the top, or people who are missing bodily parts and still manage to go through and work through and adjust and have a daily life, same as anybody else, but there's a challenge, there's an issue, there's that heart. You heard the expression, tug at your heartstrings? That's what they're talking about. Something that really touches your heart. And it's hard to describe exactly what it is, but you know what it is once you see it. There's a book out there you may be aware of called Chicken Soup for the Soul. And it's simply that. It's all about the heart, those heart-wrenching stories, those stories that touch the heart to get people going. Now don't just copy out Chicken Soup for the Soul and think you can pass those stories off as your own. Don't do that. Those stories are well known. The audiences probably know them pretty well. And trying to, that'll be a disaster. But find your own heartfelt story, your own personal story of a challenge, a struggle, an issue you had, something you really, really deeply you feel, something you're passionate about, that really touches your heart, gets your heart going. That's heart. And when you combine that head, the intellectual with the heart, that's a powerful package. That really can get the audience going. But heart alone, these days, there is a third H to really consider when you give it a speech. The heart is wonderful, and the head is great. But there's a third H missing there. You've even heard it said that if you don't have this third H in your speeches, forget about turning professional. It's just not going to happen. Because that third H missing, there's just something not there. If you've got a speech that's all heart, all these heartbreaking sort of things, and make people think, it's great, but the audience will think, a little too strong there, a little too big a deal. I want that third H. I really need that third H. Once you get the third H, then you connect quickly with the audience. You really do look better there on stage, and you start to build and develop as a speaker. It becomes more enjoyable, and your audience will enjoy things more. And the third H is simply humor. Humor. So anything that makes you laugh. Humor. Face it, if you hear a speech, it's all about, oh, this horrible thing happened, it was really bad. You're saying, oh, lighten up already. Give me some humor. I get it, it's heartfelt and stuff, you know. Sucks to be you. But I want some humor. I want some humor to really make things better. So, get some sort of humor in there. You don't want to just give a sucks to be you speech, where people finish the whole speech and think, man, you had a really lousy life. I'm glad I'm not you. Oof, bad news there, bud. You want to get people laughing, giggling, whatever. That's humor. Now, humor can be a challenge. So this third H is a little bit optional, because one thing that professional speakers will tell you, and even not so professional speakers will tell you, that if you aren't funny, don't try to do humor. Unfunny people trying to do humor can be just a disaster. Now, there are humor formulas you can use to get a few laughs here and there, but don't think you're going to go up there and do stand-up if you can't even make your family laugh. So humor is one of those things that, see if you can uncover humor in a situation. Find humor that's natural for you, but if you're trying to do humor and it's just not really coming for you, that's okay. That's all right. You've got heart, you've got the head, you've got the heart, you know, the humor, that's all right. Continue working on it, but don't roll it out to your audience until it's ready to go. If you've been trying humor in the past with people and all you hear is dead silence, it's not funny. If you give a humorous speech and no one laughs, it's not a humorous speech. So humor is important and powerful. Just of all the H's, that's probably the one that's most optional. And if you can put it in, great. If you can't, then just continue to work on it until you can put it in. Head and heart will go a long way. But if you can add humor, so much better. Because humor connects. Humor connects. Because when your audience is laughing, if you're laughing a little bit, be careful about laughing at your own jokes if the audience isn't laughing. But that connects everybody. Humor connects. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's on the same page. That's the great thing. And even if they aren't laughing like, ha, 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 they're just smiling. You notice people breaking out into smiles. That's a good sign. So think about humor, be aware of how humor works, but it's not the only thing. However, the fourth H, gotta be there. Once you have head, people are thinking about things, and you have heart. You're touching some heartstrings. You got the head, you got the heart strings, and you got a little humor. That's good. There's still one more thing that you want to get in there. And this last thing is what makes it worthwhile. It's, as some people say, it's what you pay the admission for. It's what people are looking for, really want to get, and if they don't get it, then they're not really as interested. It can be a challenge to find this, but once you find this fourth H, this fourth final H, then your speech really comes together. And the fourth H is to make sure your speeches are heavy hitting. Heavy hitting. So once you got the head, you got the heart, you got the humor in there, you get a little heavy hitting. What does that mean? Heavy hitting? So it means you want to have a message in your story that's really going to connect strongly to your audience. So your audience doesn't say, maybe. You want your audience saying, whoa, yeah, I get what you're talking about, bud. That's exactly it. Now, it may take a little work to find that heavy-hitting message. It's okay. It's fine. No problem. But you can get a heavy-hitting message. You combine that with head, heart, humor. Oh, wow. Now that's a speech. So what's a heavy-hitting message? How do you make it heavy-hitting? For one thing, it has to be heavy for you. It has to be something that really transformed you, really changed you, really developed you in some different ways, however it happened. If it's transformational for you, it can be transformational for others. And just find something that happened, something you experienced, something you know, because you're an expert on you. If you quote a heavy-hitting message from somebody else and, oh, this guy had a really heavy-hitting experience, you're honestly thinking, bring on that guy. Why are we listening to you? So your heavy-hitting message has to be something personal, something you're passionate about. And if it didn't happen to you personally, then in some way you've got to have a heavy-hitting message that is about something that happened to you personally. Maybe you heard about something and it changed your life in this sort of a way. And then you're talking about how that changed your life, how that transformed you. And that fourth H, that fourth final H of heavy hitting, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You have a heavy hitting message that really gets the audience, really cuts through all the garbage. You got a powerful speech. And then everything comes together. That final bit of heavy hitting, everything comes together. People leave your talk and they're saying, wow, I really learned something. I had a good time, was entertained, wonderful, but I really learned something. There's a message there. I'm going to take that message out of there. As a speaker, you'd like people to come up to you afterwards and say, remember your speech? It was funny, it was engaging, but that message you had, I still remember it today. Boy, that changed my life. I'm doing that from now on. That's what you want to have. That sort of powerful message that transforms, that transcends things. make your speeches heavy-hitting. Right, now to wrap up all the things you've learned today, you learned about the 4 H's and how they can powerfully impact your speeches. To raise the bar, to have a simple process to work through things, to make you look good on stage, quickly connect, and help you enjoy speaking a little bit, help you enjoy being up there. The first of the 4 H's is to make sure your speech pays attention to your head. About your head, your audience has to be thinking about things. Get in touch with that head. The audience's head, your head, get inside your head. If you've got a speech that makes the audience think and they think, oh, okay, got an idea there, that makes sense. And the data-driven people, love it. They will just love it. Those people who naturally work through spreadsheets all the time, oh man, boy, you make me think. No higher praise, you make me think. Wow. Just amazing what those data-driven people can really get out of that. So touch the head. Make sure you're aware of the head, how the head works. If you got a speech that makes people think, clear that you did a lot of thinking with the speech, touch the head. Very important. But with the head, you got to remember the second H, touch the heart. Touch the heart. Make sure there's something in your speech that tugs at those heartstrings. Really tugs at those heartstrings, like a harp, where you're just plucking on those heartstrings. Powerful image. It's become a cliche. It's so powerful to become a cliche, like Lassie Come Home, about the boy looking for his lost dog. It's a cliche, yes, but it's a cliche because it's used over and over again. And it's used over and over again because it works. Because it touches on the heartstrings each time. Each time you just say that sort of situation of a person looking for something lost, they're trying to find it, looking for a precious animal, precious pet, a precious person. Powerful story. It's done again and again and again because it is so powerful. Heart. Make sure you touch the heart. In addition to touching the head, make sure in your speeches you touch the heart. And if you can, ideally you want to put in that third H of humor. Humor. Find some way to get some humor into your speech. Now, this is a bit of a risky thing. If you aren't funny, then be careful what sort of humor you try to put in there. If you go out and you give a joke, or you try to tell something funny on stage, you're practicing through it, and all you hear is, then you're not funny. You can work on it and get better, but be careful. But if you say things, and every now and then you say something, people laugh, they click into it, they say, it's funny, write down whatever it is you said, and see if you can find a way to stick that into your speech. Humor. Humor really connects, because when the whole audience is laughing, they have something in common. They're all laughing. That connects everybody together. But head, heart, and humor, remember how powerful they are gone without that fourth H. Make sure your messages are heavy-hitting. Sure, get them thinking, fine with the head, heart, touch their heartstrings. Get some humor in there if you can, but keep that heavy-hitting message. Because that message is what's going to stick with them afterwards. That message is the thing they're going to carry away and say, I heard this funny speech, it was interesting, entertaining, I really had to think about it, it touched my heart, but wow, what a message. What a powerful message. It just blew me away. Heavy-hitting message. If you've got a heavy-hitting message in your speech, then you're ready to go. And you got a powerful speech, and you're all ready to go and make it be really powerful, entertaining, engaging, and exciting. So there you are, the magic of the 4 H's. Make sure you touch the head, touch the heart, have a little humor, and you're heavy-hitting. And once you start doing that, then you start notice you do take control of the stage. Just automatically, you just look good up there. Quickly, make that connection with the audience. Because you're going through things you know they're going to really work. You got a process for working things, just work through the 4 H's, and You can relax a little bit, have some fun, enjoy being out there on stage, enjoy being noticed. So once you go through, you follow that process, welcome to the 4-H Club.